This is H-Town Live.
Well, good morning, everyone. 9:30, right on the dot. Thank you for joining us for the second half hour of H-Town Live. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and we want to shed light on a really important topic: obsessive compulsive disorder, otherwise known as OCD. And joining me to talk more about this is one of my favorite people and friend of the show, behavior therapist and co-host of Anxiety Society podcast, Callie Werner. Thank you so much for waking up with us.
Every time I come in, I'm just like really getting to toot my own horn. I love it. It makes me feel good.
Well, you know what? Every time I see you, I instantly feel better, and there's a sense of calmness. You have this sense that you just make me feel better.
Oh, well, we both needed it this morning.
We did, didn't we?
The chaos of the traffic and all the things.
Dogs fighting.
Dogs fighting.
Yeah, everything. So we could just take a collective, we can exhale, right?
Everything's better. Everything's better.
Well, this cause is really near and dear to your heart. So tell me a little bit about OCD.
Yeah, obsessive compulsive disorder is a mental illness where there's obsessions involved and then some type of compulsive behavior performed in an attempt to relieve anxiety from the obsessions. I think often people think of OCD as, oh, I'm so OCD, I like to keep things neat and tidy, but really what they're describing is type A personality or even maybe some perfectionism, whereas OCD, the individual engaging in these behaviors, doesn't want to be. It causes them a lot of distress.
That's a really good point, because when we were talking about this and I was writing this, I thought a lot of people just throw it around like, oh, my OCD.
Yeah.
And that's actually offensive to people who have it.
For sure. And I think it depends on where you're coming from, right? I know people mean well, but at the same time, there's many individuals that are living with this illness and struggling to get out of their home or doing compulsions for hours and hours on end. And so when there's shirts like obsessive Christmas decorator or, you know, things like that throw off the term, that make it seem like a fun thing that people would want to have, it's definitely misrepresenting.
So what are the triggers of it?
Yeah, so we know that there's a genetic component of OCD. We don't know how much of it is considered genetic. We know that life stressors can, like moving homes, a family getting a divorce, or moving or to a different grade, often tend to kind of trick that gene into activating, and so OCD can really be caused, just like any mental disorder, from life stressors going on in the day-to-day.
Now, I did notice there are little things that I've noticed with myself after having a baby.
Yeah, so postpartum OCD is also a common, there's many different subtypes of OCD, about 8 different ones, and postpartum OCD women can have after having a baby. There's many different varieties that someone can experience, like a mom might be holding her baby and having all these intrusive thoughts about some harm coming to their baby, and so she'll start checking, or she'll make sure that her baby is safe when in fact it's a symptom of OCD. And I'll also say that a lot of people can have tendencies of OCD without having a full-blown diagnosis.
And how young can you start seeing these?
2 to 3. So we know that the more common age range for OCD is between that 18 to 21 age range, but there's individuals as young as 2 or 3-year-olds. I've treated as young as 5 at our clinic, and so I always like to say, if you can be preventative, get the work in if you start to notice the symptoms in a young one, so that when life gets more stressful later, they'll have the tools. So
yes, speaking of the tools, when should we reach out to a professional?
We know that OCD is diagnosed when it takes up more than an hour out of your day. And so if this is something that's impacting your social life or your home life or your work life, then you really shouldn't have to be struggling in that way. And so seeking appropriate support from a cognitive behavioral therapist, specifically exposure with response prevention, will help someone get back on the right track. Because the message I would want everyone to know is you don't have to suffer in that way. Help really does work.
And is there medicine we can take?
There is. Yeah, so the common or the most effective approach to treating OCD would be an SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, an SNRI, in addition to exposure with response prevention. So we would never want someone to do the medication alone, but combined with the ERP, they can really change those neural pathways in their brain.
And we have an entire institute. I mean, there's so many resources. We actually have a full screen because I think it's really important. Here we go. there is help out there.
Yeah. So our clinic, the OCD Institute of Texas, is a residential and PHP facility for OCD. We also have outpatient services, and if you're located in a different state, the International OCD Foundation can help find providers in that state that are licensed.
Well, thank you so much. I think you've helped a lot of people because they may have it and they just didn't know.
Yeah,
so, as always, it's always a pleasure having you. And tell everybody where we can listen to your podcast.
AnxietySocietyPodcast.com. It's available on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Anxiety Society Pod.
Well, you always take my anxiety down. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, Maggie.